Thailand attracts all types of people. But who are these people actually? In a small series of videos, I try to figure out who the people are behind the travelers of Thailand.
My name's Zoe, I'm from England, the UK.
And how long have you been here, Zoe?
I've been here just over a month. I came here about 22 years ago when I was married with my two younger sons, and then my younger son moved here to Koh Tao about 12 years ago, and I went to visit him while he was here. But that's actually the only two times I've been to Thailand.
You're here for longer term, do I?
Yeah, I sold my house end of August, business a couple of weeks later, and I got my DTV visa. When I decided that this was what I was going to do and just sell up and leave, I said I'm going to set myself for a minimum of 5 years to travel the world and not go home. Because if I say, oh, I'm only going to try it for a year, there's that comfort of going home.
Can I ask you, how old are you?
I'm 55.
55?
Yeah.
And you just said like you divorced.
Divorced, oh gosh, 20 odd years ago.
20 odd years ago, okay. And your kids are grown up already?
Yeah, they're in their 30s now.
Right, where are they?
In the UK.
They're good? Are they?
Yeah. I mean, they're both married. One's got grandchildren. Well, I've got grandchildren.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah. So, and it is a little bit hard to leave your sons, but.
And you're a grandson then?
I've got two granddaughters.
Oh, granddaughters, sorry.
But they've got the busiest lives they ever knew. So it's not like I don't see them all the time, but we video call a lot.
Yeah, okay.
When I decided that my sons were the first two I talked to about it, because I thought, I feel like I'm abandoning them, even though they're married and they've got their own lives. My oldest son was very supportive from the start. My younger son, who I thought would be supportive, was, can you afford this? He doesn't want me to run out of money, end up living with him. I get that. I don't want to live with him either. So he wanted to see all my projections and everything. And then once he was happy with that, he was 100% supportive. And the first thing he said to me was, where are you going first? I said, Asia. He said, good. He said, that's what I was going to say. He said, because I love living in Thailand. Yeah. He said, and you love Asia.
He knew he would love it.
Yeah. Because, and I've been to Vietnam, I've been to Cambodia, just on holidays. There's something about Asia.
I think it's perfect for a lot of different people, and that's why I'm talking to quite a few different types of people also. I don't know if you are a type of person anyway, but you're just one of a kind, I guess. But what driven you away from the UK then?
Oh, many things. I never remarried, so I've been single ever since. Yeah. But I had my boys. I was looking after them. You have a purpose. And my dad was elderly, and I was looking after him.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't like he was living in care, assisted housing, but I was doing everything for him. And I had, you have a purpose in life. And then one son left home, the other son left home, and my dad died. And you're just suddenly, what is there for me to do now?
Wow. Sorry to hear that, but when did that happen?
So this would have been about 6-7 years ago. It takes you a while to think, what's wrong with me? Why am I not adjusting to these changes? Yeah. And then I think one day I just realised it's because I have no purpose. I have no one to care for anymore, and I'm used to being a carer. Now I've got to look after myself.
And then you were like in your late 40s?
Yeah, late 40s.
And you're like,
and I'm like, oh, gosh, what am I going to do? I don't want to be sat here on my own, retired, with nothing really to do. I'm not particularly happy in my businesses. Before I opened my own businesses, I worked in corporate, so I had a good pension, but a reasonable pension that I could take early. They would give me the money I need. And I thought, I've always wanted to travel. You can't afford to own a home and live in the UK and travel extensively anymore. So I thought, well, I'll have to do one or the other. I'm going.
You're doing it now.
I'm doing it.
And how do you like it so far?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I absolutely, even though I've got like an injury, so I'm not exploring as much as I'd want to be. I absolutely love it.
Can we go a few steps back actually? Because where are you actually from?
I grew up in Lincolnshire. I had a difficult childhood. My mum left us when we were quite young, and I've got quite a few siblings. There's quite a lot of us.
Right. They left you as in passed away, or
just left, just walked out. So it was a struggle being the eldest, looking after the others, and like my dad struggled with it. Well, he did his best to bring us up, but it wasn't the best childhood. Step parents that weren't particularly great. And I left home quite early, got married very young. I don't regret getting married young and having my children young. I don't regret that. I mean, my husband was a wonderful person, is a wonderful person. But, we grew apart. You just grow, don't you? You change. And because I had a lot of things, you carry a lot of emotion from your childhood, and you have to You have to learn to live with it. Over time, I've learned to do that and, you know, develop myself more, think about what I want more, especially now I haven't got the boys.
Yeah.
So, and that's difficult to suddenly be selfish in your life.
Selfish?
Yeah.
Well, no, is that right? Yeah.
Well, you feel like you're being selfish because you've never done it for yourself, have you? You've always put somebody else first.
Yeah.
Always. And all of a sudden you're like, well, there is no one else to put first. Why should I feel guilty? Because
But
I'm following my dream now, you know.
have you felt guilty on this trip already?
Oh, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Just, getting on the plane and just leaving everybody behind, yeah.
Well, you always can come back if that's really painful at some stage. Like I can imagine goodbyes are also.
Oh, but goodbyes were awful.
Yeah. You're planning to go back and visit the UK when are you going back? Like
I promised my aunt I'll try and go back once a year.
moving to Thailand was selfish. Then you were saying, what's the biggest selfish thing you've done over here? Something that you really enjoyed, let's say, and you felt a bit guilty, or maybe you want to share that with someone, but because you were alone.
Sometimes I'm walking around, I'm visiting things, and I do think, oh God, I wish I had somebody here with me just to talk about it with.
Yeah, okay.
Or share it with.
Yeah.
And then I have to remember, well, you haven't got anyone, so you just got to carry on talking to yourself, and everyone looking at you like you're crazy.
Wait, is it easy? Because I know a few people over here. Everyone is different. I'm on the road a lot, so I don't do any sports over here, or I'm not sitting in bars very often. Is it easy to mingle here or to socialize, or is that maybe something that you underestimated?
I think, I have to say, I honestly don't know, because I would have gone to the gym, and I did go to look at a gym, which I really liked. It's got loads of big equipment. I thought, oh yeah, this is my sort of thing. And I didn't really think at the time I was the only woman in there, and they were looking at me. And when I came out and I said to myself, I think they were looking at me. He goes, did you care? I said, no. I said, no, I wouldn't work.
But why were they looking at you? Like,
I don't know.
Oh.
I think it's a self-conscious thing, isn't it? I was like, but I don't really care. And I would have gone there, and maybe I would have met people.
Yeah.
But then I got my injury, so I haven't really been able to do it.
So you told me about your injury. You have something with your.
Yeah, so I got my MCL.
And when did that happen?
Day 3 when I got here.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know.
That's not the best start.
No.
Wow.
So it was, being a bit disappointed. And also before I came here, I was like, I'm on a lot of Facebook groups, I'm on Meetup. So I was aware there's lots of places I can go and meet people.
Yeah.
And it was my plan to do that.
With your knee, you cannot walk then, or you can?
I can walk a very short distance, but it's very, very painful. The doctor just says rest. One of the big worries people had when I was saying, I'm going the other side of the world, was what if you get ill? What if you get injured? I'm like, well, they have hospitals, you know.
Yeah, are you insured? Are you insured from back home, or is it?
Yeah, no, I'm insured from back home.
Yeah.
And
so if something happened, then you can call them up, or?
Yeah.
Okay,
So I mean, I'd never go. You should never travel without some kind of insurance. So,
yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah. But you know, people were worried about that, and now I can actually say to them, well, I've experienced that. I've had an injury which has like messed up my plans.
Yeah.
But I've been able to go to the hospital. I've been able to look after myself, and I've been fine. You can't even get to the doctors in the UK.
Yeah, because the waiting list, you mean?
Well, even to get to your like regular GP now, you used to have to just argue with a receptionist, didn't you? But now you've got triage forms online. Then you've got to speak to the receptionist. It just takes forever, and it's like.
When I hear you talk about the UK, were you a little bit fed up with what's going on in the UK now? Or?
Yeah, I think I've always been very patriotic. I grew up very patriotic.
Okay.
I never thought I would leave the UK. I think a lot of people are starting to feel it's really expensive to live there, you know, and I don't think that's just the UK. I think, you know, people are feeling this everywhere, the cost of living. I don't really agree with the politics in our country now. I don't see us having a direction. I just think maybe I'm just tired of the UK. Maybe I just needed this break. I don't know, but I just thought there's just more to life.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be just sat there thinking, oh, I wish I could travel. Someone asked me the other day, where do you live? And I said, oh, in the UK. And I went, oh, actually, no, I don't. I don't have a home.
Well, you're living in a hotel at the moment.
I've got an apartment here, but like I've got nowhere in the UK. I've got no fixed abode anymore.
Yeah.
It's quite nice.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, I didn't think I would.
Some people, they think that it's scary to have no home. Right?
Yeah, I thought that. It took me a long time to make that decision, because you are sort of, it's ingrained in you, isn't it, to have a house, have a car,
Yeah.
you know, have these material things to show that you've made it.
Yeah. Hey,
But I don't believe that anymore.
you had kids when you were quite young, still.
Yeah, I was in my early 20s when I had my
Yeah.
children, yeah.
And now you've got all this freedom. You
Yeah.
worked probably very hard for
Yeah.
where you are right now.
Yeah.
You're not planning to work anymore?
No.
No.
No, I hope I never have to work again.
Yeah.
I do, like, so for the last 10 years, I've been working with my son. So we own a gym. We owned a gym, I got rid of that. But we've got fitness boot camps and online businesses. But that's what my son does. I mean, I run the gym, but then
Yeah.
I did the admin side. So I do a little bit of admin for him still.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm happy to do that. And
Because
help
I can
him out.
imagine, because you're still quite young. Like, it's not that you have the age necessarily to retire. Are you not afraid to lose some meaningness or something?
No.
Sorry, I phrased it this way.
No, but I know what you mean. It's like, you know, it's like having purpose in life, isn't
Yeah.
it? And I can understand that. Is if you haven't, you can never retire and have nothing to do, because that would just be awful. And I'd be terrible if I'm
Yeah.
bored. It's like I'm stuck in this apartment now, resting, and I'm like, I can't let myself get bored, because if
Yeah.
I'm bored, I get into that spiral of then I don't want to do anything because I'm bored. So I'm keeping myself busy. I'm doing knitting, and I'm going up to the pool, and I'm reading. I'm going out when I can. But I don't feel I need to work anymore. I don't think that's my purpose anymore.
No.
I'm still looking for my purpose. I think I've got something else is out there for me,
Well,
and I will find it.
Yeah, a lot of people in Thailand, I feel, they are searching for a purpose, or they are searching for something.
Yes, I think that's what I'm doing. I'm looking for. I know that I'm searching for my new permanent home, wherever that ends up being, and I'm happy to spend time looking for them. I'm not in any hurry. Like, I'm not travelling around a week everywhere. I'm spending 3 months everywhere.
Yeah.
Just taking my time.
Yeah.
Really getting to try and find that place where I can really integrate myself and.
Where are you
find
going?
a
Where are you
purpose.
going next? Do you know already?
I'm going to Kuala Lumpur next.
Oh, yeah.
For 3 months.
Okay, that's an interesting place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you see, I've never been to Malaysia, so I'm really excited for that.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to Cambodia for a month
Yeah.
to see and reap.
Also beautiful.
I went there, gosh, probably about 18 years ago, so I'm going to think it's going to be very different.
It's going to be very different, but I think Siem Reap, it developed in a good way.
Oh, I
I
imagine
really
so,
like
yeah.
some places they get more developed and it's kind of tourism ruins it, and this,
Yes.
no,
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that.
yeah,
And then I'm going to Da Nang for 3 months,
okay,
because why not? And then I'm actually going to South Korea for a couple of months. And then I'll probably come back to Thailand. I also want to try Hua Hin, because I've heard that that's quite a nice place for retirees, so, and it's got a beach.
Is there something missing here then?
No, nothing missing here. I've absolutely loved it here.
Yeah,
So I do have my DTV visas, so what I was thinking was I'd like to do 3 months here, then 3 months down there.
yeah,
Just get the seasons right, so get the best time. But I do want to come back here. I really do. I don't know, there's something about it, but I don't think I've explored it enough
Yeah.
yet. But across the road from my apartment is a hairdresser, well, a little saloon, tiny little place. I thought, I really need to get my hair cut. So I put my rubbish out and I just walked over there and I asked her, no, she doesn't speak any English, I don't speak any Thai.
Okay.
And so we just could say hello in Thai and then we're on the translate. But I walk in and she just smiles and they're very welcoming, aren't they? And then you smile back and then you think it doesn't matter, you can't speak each other's language, you're sort of already made that bond.
Yeah.
I just thought she was incredibly welcoming and I thought, this is what I'm experiencing here from people. I don't see that so much in England, and I don't know if it's because everyone's so busy and.
well, especially in London, I think well, any big city is has less time for another. But I figured that I felt the need to act a little bit in London, to act tougher than who I really are. I'm quite friendly to everyone, and I quite like to talk in a friendly way.
Yes.
And I felt like I had to talk a little bit like louder and more direct and more like
And faster.
and faster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's London, or maybe that's in the UK in general.
I think everybody in the UK is just in a rush for everything. And I always say this, I spent a couple of winters in the Caribbean And I used to hate coming home, and I always said it's because
Really?
the minute I get off that plane in Heathrow,
Yeah.
everything is, all you feel is stress. Everybody's just running around. Nobody's just walking.
The feeling of feeling good, that's amazing. So do you think that is missing in the UK a little bit?
Yeah, and I don't think it's people's fault. I think people.
How can
are
we change
stressed.
this then?
When everybody's like that, everybody kind of follows the crowd, don't they? You need to try and take a step back really and slow down.
Yeah.
And if more people took a step back and just slowed down, stop. I know it's hard not to worry about the next bill, not to worry about what the the electricity is going up again. I know all that's hard, but just try and take a step back. We can't change that things are going up in price. We can't change that we don't agree with our politics all the time. Yeah, we can vote, but we can't change it dramatically. So what you've got to do is look after yourself.
But it's difficult, like you say. I just trying to imagine like bill after bill. You're living from month to month.
Yeah.
It can be really tough, and then trying to be nice to the rest of the world. It's also difficult.
I think it's about taking time for yourself as well. It's like if you just sit down and read a book for 10 minutes or a day, just having time for yourself.
Are you spiritual?
In a busy life. Yes, I'm quite spiritual.
Do you believe in a god or a creator or something?
I don't believe in one particular religion. I think everybody should follow what makes them happy. I have my own sort of beliefs in different bits of things.
But not in a specific,
But not in one specific
Christian
religion.
or
No. And I'm always very interested in everybody's religion, Buddhism, Hinduism. I love mosques and Islam. I think everything's got something to offer. And you can learn a little bit from everything. But you have to, at the end of the day, you have to have your own beliefs, believe in what makes you feel happy in yourself and comfortable with yourself. My dad always used to say that to me. He used to say, some people believe in the afterlife and some people don't. If you want to believe in the afterlife because it makes you feel happier, then what's wrong with that? And I think that's very true. I didn't come here wanting to be live in England, in another country. I didn't expect it to be anything like England.
Yeah.
I came here expecting to live in an Asian country and follow Asian ways.
Do you have a social life here?
Not yet.
Is it not difficult a little bit?
No, I'm used to being on my own. It doesn't bother me.
No.
So it'd be nice to go out and meet people. But even when I moved to Stratford-upon-Avon, I know people because I owned a gym, so I knew people.
Yeah.
But I used to still go to meet-up groups and things and meet people, but it doesn't mean that I was going out with them all the time.
And many people, they think Thailand is for retired men, not for retired women. What would you tell them?
And I think that's true, isn't it? There is this perception that only men go and retire in Thailand. But no, I don't think that's true at all. No. Obviously, I'm not disparaging any of them. I'm not coming here to get married or anything.
Yeah. What, are you going to make an announcement here?
No, I'm not, that wasn't my plan.
Okay.
Or anything like that. I'm not planning anything like that. But I don't think women should be put off coming here at all. It's an absolutely wonderful place. It's not just for men.
No.
At all.
Do you think you maybe will find a man over here?
I mean, you never know what's around the corner, do you? But I think if I was going to meet someone, I'd have met them by now. And I think just so fiercely independent, I think that I just like being on my own. Yeah. I get plenty of messages on Facebook and stuff from people when they know you're abroad.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah. Oh, do you want to meet up? No.
Is there something that you miss from back home here, other than the tea?
My family. That's it. Yeah, family, that's it. So far. I'm not saying that perhaps when time goes on I won't miss more about the UK, because this is all still very new, isn't it? And you might, after a year, you might sort of say, oh, I miss this about UK, like I miss the tea bags, things like that. But
you got them here as well, but actually at the top supermarket, whatever tea you want, but it's quite pricey here.
Yes, I know. How much tea bags? I have to have my tea bags. But other than family at the moment, no, I don't miss anything.
Are you happy?
Yeah, very happy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
If I asked you 20 years ago, I asked you the same question, are you happy 20 years ago?
Where was I 20 years ago? I probably was happy 20 years ago. I mean, at that time I was working in corporate, but I was very busy. and my boys were at home. So I was happy, and that was one stage of my life. And then I had the next stage where I had my own businesses with my son, and I'm done with that now.
Are you happier now?
I'm. Do you know what? I think I am. I think I've come, and I think also because as I've got older, and maybe from being a bit selfish, is I'm coming more into my own. I'm feeling more like I'm living for me instead of living for other people.
It's funny how that works. When I was early 20s, it was all about myself. I'm getting kids soon. We're now getting the first one. And it's going to be about my kid, and it's going to be about our family, and not about me anymore.
But I wouldn't take that away, because having children is wonderful. It's one of the best things in the world, probably the best thing in the world.
What's the biggest lesson you can give me?
What, having kids?
Yeah, I'm getting a son.
Oh, are you? Oh, sons are the best. I have 2 sons. Is don't wish it away so quickly, because every moment is precious, and they grow up, and they really do grow up super quickly. You'll blink your eyes, they'll be out in nappies running around, and you can miss it. So don't miss a single moment. Every moment you can spend with them, do it. And love them, because and I'm a big believer of this, is if children feel loved, they feel secure,
Have you travelled with them?
Yeah, our first trip to Thailand was with them when they were younger. When I got divorced, me and the boys travelled quite a bit. We did a lot of the Caribbean. We went to Venezuela when you were allowed to go to Venezuela together. We went to Costa Rica together. So they already had that bit of a travel bug, which so that they enjoy travelling as well.
You were nearly there again.
Yes.
I always finish with a message to the world or some wisdom. Would you like to pass something on?
Some people look at me and go, oh, I could never do what she's doing. I'd be too scared to go to Thailand on my own. Fear will hold you back from doing so much in your life. And I'm glad I'm not that. I'm not that sort of person that doesn't let fear. I mean, I have been scared of things in the past, but I'm not that anymore. I'll lean into it.
Yeah, beat the fear.
And you feel so much better for it.
Okay.
And I think that's a big thing, especially people of my age that are worried about what they're going to do in retirement. Could they travel on their own? Yeah, you can. Just don't be afraid of it. Honestly, it's wonderful, and it'll be easier than you think. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there anything else what you want to share with us?
No, I've had a lovely time going around chatting with you.
Thank you for the chat.
Yes. Well, good luck with the baby.
So you actually have a YouTube channel, right?
Yes, I do.
What's your YouTube channel?
Retire and Travel the World.
I'm gonna check you out.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
This was not a regular Chai travel video. I usually do street interviews to get a better understanding of what each place is like, and I'm showing travel vlogs, and I'm only focusing on Southeast Asia. Thank you all for watching till the very end. I'd like to say from Chiang Mai in the north of Thailand, bye for now and stay champ.